And hello everyone, welcome once again to another video. This video will be ICM or VSICM, that's the vSphere Install Configure Manage Lab 10. So the objectives of this lab are to create a VMFS data store, expand a VMFS data store within the same LUN, then remove a VMFS data store, and then extend a VMFS data store by adding a LUN. So we have four different tasks in this lab, and first we have create VMFS data store. So let's move that back together and get started. Task 1, you set up a VMFS data store on an iSCSI based storage. Use the vSphere client to log in to VSICM. Okay, to do that, I've already logged in. You go right here and click on VSICM. And you log in with administrator at vSphere.local and the lab password, which is VMware bang. From the main menu, select inventory and then storage. So I'll go to click inventory. I'm already there, but showing you how to get there. And then not host and clusters, not VMs and templates, but storage. It's the third icon from the left. Create a VMFS, storage. Next, create a VMFS data store called VMFS2. So in the navigation pane, expand SAVCSA01. Let's see if it were all not expanded, contracted like that, and then we would click here and expand it and click on ICM data store. So they want us to right click it and then click on storage and then new data store. That's B. C. On the type page, verify VMFS is selected. It is. Click next. D. On the page and device selection page, enter VMFS-2. VMFS-2. From the select a host drop down, select ESXi01. So here's the select a host drop down and select ESXi01, and from the LUN list select LUN2. So we select LUN2, you can see the LUN number right under there, and click next. On the VMFS version page, leave VMFS 6 selected and click next. It is selected. Next. On the partition configuration page, move the data store size slider to reduce the data store to 8 gigabytes and click next. So we're currently using 11 gigabytes. I'm going to click that, move it to the left until we have 8. Then click next. Okay. Sort of lost my spot. Okay, click finish. We were on J. In the navigation pane, expand ICM data center and verify the VMFS2 data store appears. Okay, we're going to expand right here, and VMFS2 is at the bottom of the list. It's the newly created data store that we just created. Select VMFS2. In the right pane, select Summary. And in the Capacity and Usage pane, record the value for the amount of storage allocated. Okay, we were allocated 7.75. I'll note that on the side here. It's less than 8 gigabytes that we allocated because some space has been allocated for system overhead. So next, right click the ICM data store, right click the ICM data center and select storage new data store. Okay, we're going to go back here. I like to left click it so you can see it selected, then right click it and storage new data store. On the type page, verify VMFS is selected and click next. On the name, make it VMFS 3-3. VMFS was selected. We're going to name it VMFS-3. Do the drop down and select ESXi02 this time. And after we select this, it's able to scan and look for LUNs through ESXi2. This time they say to select LUN 6. We select LUN 6. Okay, we're down to E. And click next. On the VMFS version page, accept VMFS 6 and click next. On the partition configuration page, accept the default. Use all available space. That is the default. It's all the way over here and it's 7 gigabytes and click next. And then click finish. We would usually stop and take a moment and check this out. Make sure our selections were correct. Click finish. Verify that the VMFS 3 data store appears under ICM data center. And it did almost immediately. So we're going to click and contract that back up and then click task 2. Task 2, we're going to expand a data store to consume unused space on a LUN. So in the navigation pane, right click VMFS 2. I'll left click, then right click. And increase data store capacity. On the select device page, select LUN 2 and click next. And then we have the option, use free space on this LUN. This is the LUN that's already on. Use the free space, which is 3 gigabytes, to expand the data store. And that's what they want us to do. Expand 3 gigabytes to expand the data store from the partition. Click next. And then click finish. So we have completed creating the VMFS data store 3, VMFS 3 data store. Okay, it's completed. Now, when the task is completed, select VMFS data store in the left pane. It's selected. On the summary tab, verify the data store size has increased. So we're on the summary tab and we look at capacity and usage, and now we see that 10.75 is allocated. Previously it was only 7.5 or 7.75. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to increase the size of the data store using the added capacity of the LUN that was already residing on. That's the end of that task. We'll move on to task 3, to remove a VMFS data store. They tell us to navigate to VMFS-3, select and delete the data store. Alright, select yes, monitor the recent task, and verify VMFS-3 is removed. So we're going to VMFS-3 right here. I like to left click it to make sure you see that it is selected. Then right click it. And then they say to select delete data store. Here's unmount data store. That's very different. We go down to delete data store. And I always like to stop and think a moment when I'm deleting something. We're going to confirm, delete Datastore VMFS 3. I'm going to take a moment, verify that's what it says here. That's correct. Okay, just deleting things, I like to take a little extra caution there. Then we click delete it, yes. And there's no big red undo button if you notice. So you can see it working right here. And then it says inaccessible and it disappears. It's gone. So I thought we might have to refresh, but we did not have to refresh it. Refreshed on the page when it was deleted. Task 3 is completed. Now we move on to task 4. You use a second LUN to extend the size of a data store based on the first LUN. The first time we expanded within the same LUN. Now we're going to use a second LUN to expand the data store. Extend the capacity of the VMFS2 data store. Okay, so let's go to select VMFS2. Select VMFS2, click the Configure tab in the right pane. Select General, and next to Capacity, click Increase. General, okay, Capacity Increase. And select, okay, select LUN 6 and click Next. Use all available space and click Next. Okay, this is LUN 6. I'm under LUN 6. Select it and then click Next. Use all available partitions. That's what we wanted. And click Next. And then it says to click Finish. G says to click Finish. So it has extended the data store at this point. Verify the size of VMFS2 is increased. Select Device Backing in the right pane. So we have to go to this drop down where General is. I'm still learning my way around the new interface too, so don't feel lost if you're looking in the wrong place, because I do sometimes. Go to Device Backing. Instead of General, go to Device Backing. And now we see there are two LUNs of 11 gigabytes and 7 gigabytes make up this data store. Record the value of the total storage capacity. Well, that would be 18. No, they didn't say that there. Click Summary. Click Summary, and then what is the total capacity? It's 17.5. So 17.5 is now the size of our data store, which is what we wanted. Okay, that's right. Now click Host in the right menu. Up here to the right is Host. We have Summary, Monitor, Configure, Permissions, Files, and then Host. And this is who can use this data store. Well, it's a shared data store by default. ESXi01 and ESXi02 can both see VMFS2. The last thing they want us to do is rename this. So right click VMFS2 and click Rename. Right click, Rename, and then the name is Shared VMFS. Shared VMFS. Click OK and verify that the data store has been renamed. It has. And that's the end of task 4. We're at the end of the lab. Thank you for watching. Hope that's helpful.